So if we're going to talk about the women dying due to government restrictions and policies, i.e. through abortion laws, let's talk about all the women dying. Because you can't say one name and not say the other names. You cannot claim to care about women and women's rights, but then ignore the Biden-Harris administration's blood on their hands of hundreds of minors and women that have died due to illegal immigration. FairUS.gov is a government website that keeps track of all of the crimes committed by illegal immigrants. They have archives from 2016 and even earlier up until now. The ones I'm going to read you against women and children, these were just this year in the summer alone. Let's go through some of them, shall we, women lovers? July 8th, 2024, Zelvin Gomez caused a fatal car accident because he was driving intoxicated, killing a 6-year-old girl in Alabama. Let's move on. The very next day, on July 9th, two boys, 16 and 18-year-old illegal immigrants, they went on a shooting spree in Charlotte, North Carolina, shooting 2 people and wounding them and killing 1 more. Let's move on. June 17th, 2024, 2 illegals aged 21 and 26 raped and strangled a 12-year-old girl in Texas. Her name was Jocelyn Nungare. Okay, that was her name, so you better say it. June 24th, 2024, Enrique Gomez killed a 21-month-old boy in a ritual. And he wasn't caught for another 5 years because no one could find him. Let's move on. June 30th, 2024, 3 illegal immigrants killed a woman named Christy in New Orleans. She was a tour guide and she was killed in a robbery attempt. So let's say her name, Christy. Rest in peace, Christy. She matters. May 2nd, 2024, Marvin Lopez kidnapped and sexually assaulted an 11-year-old girl in his van. May 6th, 2024, an unnamed woman was killed in her home by illegal immigrants, and they burned her house down with her in it. May 18th, 2024, Jesus Perez was arrested for sexually molesting a boy under the age of 12. His trauma matters too. May 22nd, 2024, ICE arrested a man that was here illegally that brutally raped a mentally handicapped woman. Let's move on. April 2nd, 2024, Jose Fairman. Let's talk about him for a second. He kidnapped and raped a young girl back in 2018. He was served 10 years in prison, but got out in 4.5 years. Then he was required to register as a sex offender, but he slipped through the cracks and he never registered, and he then raped 3 more women. He was finally reconvicted on May 2nd of 2024. April 3rd, 2024, a Guatemalan illegal was arrested for peeping into a woman's bathroom in a Walmart, where women and children were peeing and going to the bathroom. Let's move on. April 24th, 2024, an illegal immigrant stabbed his girlfriend to death. Her name was Amalia, and not just that, but he also stabbed to death her 4-year-old daughter. Now, these were just a select few that had to do with women and children in 2024 alone. And what did the Biden-Harris administration do about any of these? Nothing. You want to know why? Because they were preventable. They undid themselves 94 border security policies, 94 of them in their administration last term. All of these women and children that were hurt are on their hands. So if you guys want to talk about the women and you know, all the women being hurt from these abortion laws, please think again, because these women and children, though, these were preventable deaths. These were preventable. This was not medical malpractice. This was not the government not having a right to privacy, blah, blah, blah. These were preventable under the Biden-Harris administration. Laken Riley, rest in peace to that beautiful girl, fought for 17 minutes. 17 minutes she fought for her life against this man who was renting an apartment here. He rented an apartment. And he took her. She fought for 17 minutes, but she is not the only one. There are thousands of women and children hurt by illegal immigration. So no, us wanting to close the border back up is not racism. It is not us being Nazis Illegal immigration laws have been in place since the 1920s. Then they were reinstated in 1952 under Section 8, Unit 1325. These have been laws for a long time. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has nothing to do with Republicans being racist. These have been laws. This is normal. This is normal. These were preventable. It's not a matter of race. It's not a matter of wanting America to only be filled with Americans. It's not the problem. The problem is you have to apply to come here. That has been the law for hundreds of years, and that will stay the law. And it should stay the law. Every other country does it. All these people, because Trump won fleeing to Canada, what'd you have to do? You had to apply. You had to have a passport. I don't see you mad at them. You're not mad at Canada. That's a woman running Canada, by the way. Days after the election, she went on a podcast saying, well, I respect that people want to come here, but they also have to apply for citizenship. They're not exempt. And neither are immigrants, okay? Here. They're not exempt either. It's law. If we want to talk about systemic racism in this country and where it stems from, let's talk about the fact that the Civil Rights Act of 1964, a quick Google search will do you good. The Democrats didn't want to pass the Civil Rights Act. Did you guys know that? That the president had to appoint Republicans into the House to have it passed because 78% of Democrats voted no for the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Did you guys know that? Are you too busy hearing that we're Nazis everywhere? Did you know that? Because this is fact. If it wasn't for the Republicans, we wouldn't have had anti-segregation laws. So if you want to look at racism, don't look at us. And if you want to talk about women getting hurt and beat and killed and tortured, not because of sepsis, because someone took a 12-year-old girl and strangled her, don't look at us either, because that was you guys. You guys voted that in. You can live with that. But don't talk about women. Don't talk about women, okay?